Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. A couple of days ago, we're talking about Josh Heupel getting a raise, $9 million man, the contract extension, and what Josh Heupel's done in 2 years. Nothing short of phenomenal. He overachieved in year one. This past season, 11-win season for the first time in over 20 years. Orange Bowl win over Clemson. Beating Alabama, beating LSU. Just an amazing season for Josh Heupel and this football team. Then yesterday, the news comes out that athletic director Danny White also getting a raise and an extension. And that just shows you it's a testament to what is going on down there in Knoxville with Tennessee athletics across the board, not just football, but the big three: football, basketball, baseball. But also it goes a step further than that. I saw this on Twitter the other day. Danny White shared it out. 6 active Tennessee head coaches have led their program to a number 1 ranking. 6 active head coaches. It says there on the screen, when the football team earned the top spot in the first edition of the 2022 college football playoff rankings, it made Josh Heupel the 6th active head coach to guide his or her Tennessee program to a number 1 national ranking. The others, baseball coach Tony Vitello 6 times in 2022. Men's tennis coach Chris Woodruff in 2022. Men's basketball coach Rick Barnes in 2019. Men's golf coach Brandon Webb in 2018. And softball coach Karen Weekly 2004 through 2007. So it's not just a football program that is on the rise. It's all across Tennessee athletics. We backed into a home run hire there with Danny White. I think he is a guy that holds true to tradition, but also he's innovative and he looks into the future. He's good with fundraising. He's good across the board. He is a legitimate businessman. It's not the good old boys club anymore. The athletic directors of old. Danny White was a home run hire, and he deserves the raise he got. But what I want to jump in today is talking about the transfer portal once again. Ole Miss corner Davison Igbinosun. Is he on his way to Rocky Top? There's a couple of interesting things you guys might have seen floating around on Twitter that I want to get into. But as always, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts, not insiders. We're not media. We're not talking at you. We're talking with you. So if you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live on Saturday for that Tennessee-Texas basketball game. It's a watch party. So if you are a member of the channel at the watch party enthusiast level, you're going to have the opportunity to come on the show, hang out. Myself, Xavier, are going to be watching the Tennessee-Texas basketball game. So you have a chance to come on for a couple of hours. Should be a good time. Hope to see you guys in the chat for that. But let's talk about Davison Igbinosun, again, a guy that entered the portal. Now, we know the transfer portal is closed. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. As long as you're in the portal, by the time it closes, you're fine. But the interesting thing to take note of is classes have already started. So Davison Igbinosun, if he's going to transfer, he's got to do it sooner rather than later. Now, Tennessee, the benefit here, they start a little bit later than most other schools. Classes just resumed on Monday. So this past Monday, classes started. We'll get into that in just a second. But here is an article from 247 Sports about Davison Igbinosun, the transfer portal notebook, transfer ranking, number 1 available. Says a standout true freshman for Ole Miss this season. Igbinosun started 10 games and posted 37 tackles and 5 passes defended in his collegiate debut. That strong performance and 4-star recruiting pedigree have made Igbinosun one of the most popular names on the open market, particularly for us Tennessee fans, right? We look at the need, what this team needs to take that next step defensively, particularly, is in the secondary. We talked about that last night. We had the old Talkin VAWLS Christmas party, better late than never. Myself, JP, Dobber, Snake, and the X Factor got together, had a couple of cold drinks, and talked a little Tennessee football. We watched some Tennessee basketball, but one of the things we talked about is the need in the secondary. A fun question that Eric Kane posed to me last week was, Boogie, if you could take any player from the past Tennessee history, any player, offensively, defensively, and plug them onto this team, who would it be and why? And the first name that jumped out to me was Eric Berry. I think you add a guy like Eric Berry, and I get it. Some people are going to say, oh, Peyton Manning. Last night, JP said Jamal Lewis. Can you imagine Jamal Lewis in this offense? Yeah, that's all fine and good. But I think if you take a guy like Eric Berry in the secondary, then you're going to take that next step for this football team. And that's what I'm not saying Davison Igbinosun is an very quality player, but we all know the need to improve the secondary. He goes on to say there's an obvious connection with Igbinosun and Rutgers. He's a New Jersey native, and his brother Desmond is a starting safety for the Knights. And while Rutgers is in the mix, several other contenders have emerged in this process, per a source. Says here Tennessee is very much a school to watch. Says the Vols were a finalist in his initial recruitment, and they've made a very aggressive push since he entered the portal. Two other schools in the mix, Texas A&M and Michigan, both of which are making a push. One factor to watch Igbinosun's recruitment is the status of former Ole Miss defensive coordinator Chris Partridge, who is a huge reason Igbinosun picked Ole Miss. Wherever Partridge ends up for his next job, will have an excellent shot of landing Igbinosun. Now, this just came out yesterday. This article came out yesterday. I don't know that Texas A&M and Michigan are even in it at this point. According to Brent Hubbs over at VolQuest, Igbinosun wants to take a visit to UCLA. So we'll see how that plays out. But again, I think Davison Igbinosun is a guy that is going to immediately upgrade the Tennessee secondary. I feel good about it. People keep asking, Boogie, what do you think? I said, I think he's a Vol. I think it's just a matter of time till that information comes out, and he is a Vol. Now, something that was floating around Twitter yesterday, something that was floating around the VolQuest message boards that make this very interesting because we saw it. We saw it with Gabe Judy Lolly. We saw this happen, and then a few days later, the commitment comes out. He's on the Tennessee football roster. Davison Igbinosun is in the student directory at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. So his name has been registered. Now, does that mean he's locked in? No, not necessarily. But it means he's taking those steps to get enrolled at the University of Tennessee. And again, as I mentioned earlier, classes started on Monday. So there is a window of opportunity there for you to get enrolled in classes and start going to school, which is part of this. Davison Igbinosun obviously wants to go through spring practice. So part of that is getting enrolled and attending class for the spring semester. But again, he is enrolled. He is enrolled at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. So he is in the student directory. Excuse me, not necessarily enrolled. He's in the student directory taking those next steps. So is he in the directory, going to take the trip to UCLA and then make a decision there? Maybe. It sounds to me like Texas A&M is out of it. I really think at one point it was down to Tennessee and whether or not he was going to go back to Ole Miss. Now it's starting to trend that he's not going back to Ole Miss. I think the Vols are in a good spot. What's the magic word that AP likes to use? Trending to the good guys. I think that's where we're at with Davison Igbinosun. What do you guys think? Hit the comment section and let me know your thoughts. Again, I think it's an immediate upgrade to the secondary. Freshman All-American accolades from College Football News. As I said earlier, played in all 13 games, 10 starts at the corner position, 37 tackles, 5 pass breakups. I think Davison Igbinosun and I think Gabe Judy Lolly could be your starting corners on defense this fall in 2023. Can the secondary take a step? How much better can this defense be if the secondary truly takes a step? I know I've kind of talked about this previously, but you got Wesley Walker. Can he step up at the safety position? You got some young guys. Turrentine, the kid that transferred from Ohio State. Danico Slaughter. Can he take a next step? Does he lock down the star position? Walker locks down a safety position. And then you got 2 kids from the portal coming in and starting at corner. What about Warren Burrell? Does this push Warren Burrell to be a little bit more aggressive? Stop being that safety net reserved, cautious type of player that's the most consistent. I'm using air quotes because that's the words we hear. Most consistent. Does that push him to be a little bit more aggressive, to be a little bit more of a dog? That's what Warren Burrell needs. Warren Burrell needs a spark, man. Warren Burrell needs somebody to fire him up and go out there and do a little bit more, not just be consistent, not just be reserved. Go be a dog. That's what we need. That's what we need. And maybe Gabe Judy Lolly and Davison Igbinosun will get that. But like I said, hit the comments. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about Davison Igbinosun being in the UTK student directory? I think he's trending towards Tennessee, guys. But I would love to hear your thoughts. As always, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merch, bonfire.com/store/talkinballs. Any and all support greatly appreciated. As always, thank you to the members of the channel for allowing me the opportunity to do this full time. We got almost 20,000 subscribers. If half of you guys could donate at the dollar level, 99 cents a month, just hit that join button down below. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure you don't let it expire. A lot of you guys are members. You don't realize that it cancels. So make sure you're still a member of the channel. I would appreciate it. But that's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin' Balls Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.